This is the craziest thing. It went right to the inverse fib extension of the -2.7. What did Casper do during its crash? What's up, guys? Kevin Cage here with another cryptocurrency update. We're going to dive into the XRP price chart, look at XRP dominance, look at some crashing structures for Casper and a few other assets, and then we'll go over some recent crypto news. Okay, so before we dive into the XRP price chart, let's check out the XRP dominance. Now notice, this is on charts.cointrader.pro. This is XRP dominance according to CoinPaprika. Now as you can see, dating back to 2014, right there, support, following this trend line, broke through, now it turned into resistance with that wick perfectly. Now if we simply follow this long term and get back up here, I just want to show you how much of a percent return that would be. Because as we can see, XRP is consolidating at these lows, and it's been here for quite some time. To get back up to really the top of this triangle or even this trend is over an 800% move for XRP dominance. Now looking at the XRP price chart on the left hand side, drawing a fib wick to wick, we can see if it simply followed Bitcoin going up to the 3618, a double top, that's approximately $11. Now if you want to be more conservative because you might not believe that, that's completely fine. I personally do long term for XRP, of course. We could go to the weekly, we could go to the daily, and actually just plot the fib on the candle bodies. So we'll use that high right there. Let's do the same thing for that low right there. Either way, whether you're looking at Bitcoin, whether you're looking at Ethereum, and here's Ethereum right here, and I actually drew a Fibonacci retracement right on the candle bodies of the weekly time frame. The high, we have the low, and as you can see, we reached a 3618 to perfection. Let me just show you right there. So just showing you the data of Bitcoin and Ether, and these aren't just microcaps, these are some of the biggest projects in the entire ecosystem. Now we can actually do the same thing with other altcoins or lower caps that still reach these fibs, and even when they're illiquid, it's like a game of math. And this is why I believe in the Fibonacci so much, because the golden ratio doesn't just exist in mathematics, it exists in nature, in music, in everything, and of course on the charts. So these extensions and these retracements you can see are like a magnet for price action. Even with XRP, you can see what happened. That wick right there. Let's zoom in. You can see it. Hitting the 702 to perfection, then rejecting, doing another crash below. Now with the Bitcoin fractal, we can see from the high to the low, we hit the 618, completely rejected and crashed, but it's a very similar structure. So, could history rhyme in the future for XRP, XLM, a variety of assets following this similar move? Now, following different crashing structures, over the past several months, I've done videos comparing Casper and Glimmer or Moonbeam. I've done crashing structures showing you Phantom, a perfect example of an asset crashing 95% and then doing a 1000x. Now, me personally, I try to be really conservative, and if I can even get a 10x, a 50x, or a 100x from the lows, I'm extremely happy. And so let's zoom out. Let's look at XRP's crashing structure and see if we've seen this before and maybe compare it to Casper. Now, here's another example for HBAR going on a very small time frame. We can see similar wicks right there. We can see this little recovery right there. We can see similar to a double top somewhat right there. We can see the crash, back test. This actually went right to the 236. I can show that as well. And then we crash. Now looking at HBAR here, ranging here for quite some time, nobody wants to accumulate at these levels because fear is at an all-time high. Now, I'd assume that most of the buyers in this market probably bought HBAR at 3 cents, 5 cents, or maybe, 20 to 40 cents if they're new to the market. And as I shared before, I was buying HBAR when it first launched on its first exchange. Yes, I was paying a little too high for it, but you're damn right that I was dollar cost averaging. In March 2020 was super humbling, almost losing everything, being down, and it taught me the power of keeping conviction in dollar cost averaging. There's going to be people out there that stop dollar cost averaging in assets that they believe will be here to stay. I will tell you right now that I'm continuing to dollar cost average. I still have some lower buy limits set as a Hail Mary. I have shared those in Discord. And so I can go on a variety of time frames and show you a variety of crashing structures, but just wanted to give you that as an example. So I just whipped this out as a quick example to get a visual. Now, technical analysis, I don't care who you are, it is highly subjective. We see what we want to see. If we're bullish, we're going to see bullish outcomes. If we're bearish, we're only going to see the downside. And all of our realities are just a lens. It's just another perspective, and they're all equally viable. So we can see this crashing structure, a little automatic rally back, and then that final crash that could serve as the spring. Now, are we there now? And actually, are we beginning to recover for Casper? That would be the bullish outcome if we actually are at that low. And hopefully you can see some of the similarities. You have right there the big suckers rally, the bull trap that gets everybody in, and then boom, big crash. And right here, we had a very similar move. Right there, that's the bull trap. And now it's also possible that what if we are here and we still have a bull trap and then one more big crash? Or am I reading this wrong because greed is getting in my way and we're actually here? We still have a big move and then the crash. Now, either way, I'm going to continue to dollar cost average a little bit every week, every few days. That hasn't changed. And I'm not selling my Casper when this asset, even from this high, has dropped 90%. For me, this is buying season. And whether your average is 10 cents, 7 cents, or even 4 cents, this is a beautiful time to accumulate because the odds that we get back up in the future, even to like 20 cents, and this is an absolute key level. Let me explain why. We can see a wick right there, back test right there, now resistance, going all the way there. Now, even right here, when Casper in the future, for those that are patient and really actually study Casper, you don't just watch videos, but you're actually reading the white paper, trying to catch up with the hours of footage with Davos, and you're not relying on a single person for financial advice. To get back up to that key level, that's a 600% increase, plus the initial, that is a 7x return. So I'm going to be making the most of this. Now here's the magic I want to show you. Now I can do trend lines, I can do fractals, but I also overlay fibs. Now please watch this slowly. Now for the XRP price chart, I use the swing high before the big capitulation. For Casper, I do the same thing, the swing high before capitulation. Now where's my swing low? It's this whole zone right there where we're riding. For Casper, it's the same zone. You can see a wick, just riding it. Boom, 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 right there. Now what happened? This is the craziest thing. It went right to the inverse fib extension of the negative 2.7. What did Casper do during its crash? It went right to the negative 0.27 fib extension. So my question is, could the bottom be in? Yes. Is that financial advice? Absolutely not. But that is what I'm looking for. We all know how aggressive some V-shaped recoveries are, or even if it's long and grueling. I believe that Casper is one of the best buys in this market. If you don't like the tokenomics, if you're not a long-term believer, that's completely fine. There are hundreds of projects to choose from. Now, as we can see right here on market cap of, if Casper today reaches the market cap of Solana, a layer 1 that I think is inferior to the technology that Casper is bringing, with upgradable smart contracts, WebAssembly, to actually fit into the IT architecture, you can see that is a 75x return. Value in Casper at over $2. Now, friendly reminder, looking at Solana, is ranked number 9 today at $35. Market cap at $12.2 billion. Now, when Solana was at an all-time high price, we're going to go to CoinMarketCap, click Market Cap, and then we're going to click All. We can see the market cap of Sol. At an all-time high, it was over $75 billion. $75 billion divided by that $12 billion market cap today. That means Solana was 6 times higher at the all-time high. So what am I saying? I'm saying that this market cap of website is measuring Solana today. So we could actually add, with Casper's price for the bullish case, a factor of 6, meaning $2 goes to $12. Now, first off, is a double-digit Casper possible someday? Yes. Is a single digit more likely? Yes. Now, that's not financial advice, guys. I'm not telling you everything's going to $1,000 overnight or $50K tomorrow. So I'm not pulling this out of thin air. I'm actually showing Solana, which is a layer 1 that Casper's competing with. And I believe that Casper has much better technology. Oh, Kevin, but you were shilling Casper when it was even 10 or 13 cents and then it crashed. And you're right. And guess what? I still believe in Casper long term. And so I better be talking about it. And I'm continuing the dollar cost average when it's 2 to 3 pennies. And I'd rather talk about it right now today instead of shilling it when it's at 20 cents, 50 cents, or 80 cents in the future. Also, guys, for anybody that did participate in the Unstoppable Domains giveaway, we're going to be announcing the winners this week, hopefully tomorrow. So Unstoppable Domains did just answer my email, and it's Monday, so they're back for work. And apologies for it taking so long. I know that they don't work during weekends, like myself, but we can see that 3 winners are going to win $500 USDC each. And for those that actually entered their .blockchain domain and correctly entered, I'll keep your anonymity. We're just going to put your blockchain domain in here, and then we'll spin the wheel of fortune. And then for full transparency, I'll most likely just tweet the actual Etherscan transaction just so everybody can see it. And all right, next up, Jed McCaleb's balance. This is the final countdown. I have to talk about this essentially every day because if it follows the average, I mean, we're talking less than a week. So we'll see. And if he follows this 3-month average, he'll be done in approximately 5 days. A few other things. We got Dagnum validating transactions, just explaining that HBAR is not the same as validating data. This is why it's done on DAG or Constellation. Every day, we create roughly, sounds like a made up number, 2.5 quintillion bytes of data. Now remember, bytes is for storage of data, and then bits, like megabits, refers to speed. And then right here, we can see smart city threat vectors. Fascinating. Now think AVs, autonomous vehicles. We can think, I mean, even for HBAR, I love HBAR. We had the drone company looking at Hashgraph. I love DAG, I love QNT and HBAR, and I think they all do well in the future. We also have Just Jeremiah killing it again with a beautiful DAG post. Layer 0, the whole network infrastructure, the base layer for interoperability, interoperable with all chains. The successful DLT networks, not just blockchains, because DAG is a DAG, is going to be interoperable. There's going to be bridges, not barriers, not walls. It's essentially a feeless network, which means everything is free. That sounds nice. Nearly infinite transactions per second, and the more nodes that are added to this network, the faster it gets. Partnered with the US government and the DoD, Department of Defense, highly secure in over 1,000 nodes. Now this is a video I uploaded back in October, and the point of this is to always take profit regardless of what anybody else says. Now of course I had all my entries actually timestamped. You can still go back to Patreon and see the actual post when I'm taking my position in DAG when it was under 2 pennies. Now shortly after that it really started moving. It was the beginning of the year, the bullish cycle, every single alt went up, they just took turns. And they hit different fib levels, as you can see. I mean, with this Fibonacci retracement, these were previous targets. Look at that. The wick to perfection, hitting it, crashing to backtest on the 100% retracement, and then showing us that it was coming up to this level later on to close that, and it did. And then with this move, I was public. After an 860% increase, I actually took my entire initial investment out because I wanted to make sure I yield a profit. Now, I can't believe I even waited this long. Normally, I would take my initial investment out after like a 3 or 4x now, just because this market is getting more complicated. And when I told people, or even just posted it on crypto Twitter, because people are so toxic, the Constellation community ate me alive. And I love DAG, I love the Constellation community, but I was getting comments like, have fun staying poor, or get wrecked, or idiot. And that's just part of the game. I didn't care, everybody's free to do what's best for them. But when I sold, what later happened? It actually rocketed and created a new all-time high price all the way up to 40 cents plus. Now, did I have FOMO? Did I wish I held? Yeah, but at the same time, I actually put that money in other investments that also did well. And with anything that does, an 800% in a couple months, you can't have emotion and worry about it. And I explained in this video how I did a 16x with this. I put it in and I actually put most of the money in Casper, and Casper's down currently. Now, do I believe that works out long term? Absolutely. But just wanted to share that, guys. There's no right way, there's just your way. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Be sure to like and sub. You can find all links in the top of the YouTube video description, and I'll catch you in the next one.